Good evening everyone, my name's George from Big Gay Knits. Today I want to talk to you about whether or not the Aldi yarn is worth it. So in the UK there's a shop called Aldi, I'm pretty sure it's global, and they have yarn sales. It's only 1 or 2 weeks that they have the yarn in stock. Everyone goes a little bit feral and from what I've seen it kind of pillages the entire situation. So they have yarn, it's available for a very limited amount of time, but for like an incredible price. So from like 99p a skein to like £1.29, and I think one's like £2.99. So it's obviously people get into a bit of a frenzy about it. There's definitely a situation, I know, like everyone tells each other when they've seen it coming up and they're like, oh, it's the yarn event, it's happening. Is Aldi yarn worth it? So today I'm going to show you 3 things that I've made from Aldi yarn. I'm going to talk to you about what I like, what I don't like, and whether or not it'd be worth buying for you. So this is the Step by Step sweater by Florence Miller, and this is, I think, probably the first jumper that I can't remember which one was the first one I made, but I made this whole thing out of 400 grams of Aldi, or like the So Crafty Aran, which is 20% wool and 80% acrylic. I think I made the size medium, but it has definitely blocked out. It was quite funny because I made this and then I blocked it and it was like quite short, and then I just accidentally left it on the side and my partner shoved it into the washing machine, and it's come out actually like now quite like floppy and oversized, but in quite a nice way. Like the sleeves are quite a nice length on me now. So yes, maybe that's worked out for the best. I really sped through making this because it's Aran weight, and I think you knit it on 5.5 or 6mm needle. I think it's 5.5mm needles. You can just whiz through it so quickly once you've figured out, oh, it's just an increase and then a row of knitting and then an increase in row of knitting. It's top down in the round raglan with like no seaming at all whatsoever. I really loved knitting this. It was so much fun to knit. I was a bit concerned about not having enough yarn, so I had one massive ball of 400 grams of this yarn, and I was a bit concerned that I wasn't going to get a garment out of it. So I think I knit to about here and then panicked and then knitted both sleeves to be like long sleeve length, and I was like, well, if I have to have a different colour bottom of the jumper then that's fine, but at least I want the sleeves to be the same colour. So I made all of those things together. It did work out in the end. It is like a decent length on me, so it's now just like a very nice cozy oversized jumper. The difference I found with this is that the acrylic isn't as warm as wool. So whereas like a nice woolly jumper will keep me really warm and really toasty, like my amazing really super fluffy merino jumper that I made out of super bulky yarn, this isn't quite as warm as that. So it's definitely kind of feels that little bit more lighter weight, but it still has quite like a bulky look to it. So that's something to bear in mind. If you are knitting and you're like, I need a warm jumper, maybe this isn't the yarn for you. However, it does wash incredibly well. So that is definitely a major bonus, in that this got whacked into the washing machine along with all of the other dark colours, and it's come out perfectly fine. It's very easy to maintain this yarn, so that's a major bonus for it. It's not quite as warm. It doesn't, I was surprised actually, because this is probably one of my least pilling jumpers that I have. I've made a jumper out of some really bougie yarn that's got merino and Falkland Island wool and silk, and it pills like crazy. I think that's because it's a little bit rougher on the skin. It's still like perfectly fine wearing next to skin, but I think it's a little bit hardier, so it kind of stands up a bit more to kind of friction and where you kind of walk and rub your arms against your body. It doesn't, I've not really got that much pilling from this jumper, which is quite nice, because I do sit there quite a lot picking all the pills off my jumper sometimes. So I'm really happy with this one. I think this is one of the most successful things that I've made from Aldi yarn. I thought I'd show you just a quick update of my Glenview sweaters. This is where I've got to today. Obviously so much, I'll be done probably in the next 2 days. Joking. Yeah, I really love how this is working up. This is the Never Neverland yarn, hand dyed by Helen of Giddy Yarns, which I'm really obsessed with. It's so pretty. Yeah, oh gosh, so lovely. It feels so nice as well, and I do feel like this fabric's coming out really nice and drapey and airy and oh, just everything. I'm so excited. I can't wait to wear this, and I feel like it'll be finished probably around springtime, and it's just such a bright springtime lovely colour, so I can't wait for that. This is another make that I've had from Aldi yarn. This is the DK weight 100% acrylic yarn, I think in the colour khaki, that I got not last September, the September before in the yarn sale, and I made this hexagon cardigan from. So I'd never made a hexagon cardigan before, so it's kind of my first foray into like a big crochet project. I do remember thinking, oh my god, this is going to take me absolutely forever to do, and I did get like quite I think after you've done the first bit and you kind of work in the underarm and you start and you go out and round, it goes so quickly at first that you're like, oh well, I'll be done with this in no time, and then when you're getting around to the edge and like each one's like another row with another like load of stitches around, you slowly come to terms with the fact that you've got a whole nother one of these to make, and then you have to do like a panel down the back, and then you have to do the sleeves. So it kind of catfished me a bit in how long I thought it was going to take to make this. I put a panel down the back to kind of extend the size a little bit so I could have something that was a little bit longer. So this comes down like kind of hip length on me, and then I've kind of done some decreases on the sleeves here to kind of bring that in a little bit, so it's not quite so, it is still quite a balloony sleeve, but then it kind of decreases around to the cuff, and then I did front and back post crochet. I really like the colour of this yarn. I feel like the colour's so lovely. I love this kind of like, well, I don't know if I'd call it khaki, because to me that's like a very specific tone, but kind of this like mossy olive green. It reminds me of being like a little frog, which I love obviously because I'm gay and I love frogs. What's more, I'm gay, I love frogs, and I've got a top one that says save the planet. That's like peak queer. Yeah, so I really love the colour of this and like the brown together. I think that's really nice. I put little mushrooms and little applique on there, so really happy with this. This is the first time I've ever doing kind of mushroom motif thing, so I was really proud of myself for doing these. I don't think I put them in like, I think I didn't get the placement quite right on this, but I don't care because they're just so cute and I love them so much. Love the colour of this yarn. I think it's really lovely. It does feel decently soft, like it's not the softest thing I've ever touched, but again, as I said with the previous jumper, it does feel quite hardy. Like I feel like it can take probably quite a lot of abrasion. Like if I was going to scrub this, I wouldn't worry too much about it pilling or anything happening to it. So it's quite nice to have something that's like a little bit more carefree, and I don't have to think about like where I'm going to wear it. Is Doris going to scratch down it when she greets me as I come in through the front door? So yeah, so that's really nice. I have had some pilling on this, so it's not like, I don't know if you can kind of see, I mean it's hard, it's green on green, isn't it? So you can kind of see I've got again like a little bit of ends, but like there is a little bit of pilling, but it's not super bad. I've definitely had a lot worse with other jumpers that I've made, because it's quite tightly spun. It was quite easy to crochet with even as a beginner. I think I used a 5mm hook because that's the only one I had, and a very kind person at my local knitting circle gave me one of those like face sponge things to kind of put on, because I was really struggling to like hold this like metal hook. I think it was just like a standard pony grey metal 5mm hook. So yeah, so that was very kind of them, and that made it a lot easier to kind of get through this, because I was really struggling with like the action of my wrist and kind of like scooping stuff through. So this took, I think 4 or 5 100-gram balls of this to make this cardigan, and I would say it's probably like a large to extra large size that I've ended up with, obviously with quite like nice voluminous balloon sleeves. So yeah, so I think in terms of that value for money, you really can't beat Aldi for that. If you do knit and crochet with acrylic, I definitely think you should check out the Aldi yarn. The colour range isn't fantastic, but the value is incredible, and you do get like a decent amount. I think it's 250 meters per 100 grams of this, so you do get like some significant yardage, and at the moment it's £1.29. You literally nowhere can beat that. So this is my hexagon granny cardigan. This is my Calypso sweater, which is one that I've very recently finished. There's a video coming out about that soon, about kind of the from failure to triumph. So I'm so happy with this. I'm really thrilled about how this came out. This top yoke section is in Serdar jewel spun, and then this bottom plum coloured is the Aldi Aran yarn again, in the shade Plum. So just like I made for my red jumper, or I suppose burgundy kind of jumper, it's the same again of the 20% wool to 80% acrylic blend from Aldi. So I had this yarn and I wanted to make a cable sweater, so I really had to go at that, and it wasn't very successful, and I got really fed up with it, really fed up with the pattern, didn't like knitting backwards and forwards, and I was just like, I'm not into this, I've made a mistake, and I didn't want to go back and fix it, but now it's all I can see at the bottom with cables. The cable sweater was the one project from 2025 that I really struggled with, and I think I'd cast it on either at the beginning of the year or I think about February 2025, and I tried it all year to get that to work, and I just didn't want to do it. And at the end of the year I was thinking back and I was like, oh god, this bloody jumper, I just don't want to do it, I just don't want to do it. And I was like, George, why are you making yourself do a thing that you don't want to do? That's not the purpose of your hobby. I wrote in my diary to myself, the purpose of your hobby is to enjoy it, not because it's a chore. So yeah, so that was kind of a bit of a moment to be like, I don't need to do this to myself. If I'm not enjoying what I'm knitting and I'm not loving the process and I don't want to make this thing anymore, I can just say no thank you, I don't want to make it anymore, that's not for me. So yeah, so I frogged all of that yarn back out again. I ended up knitting a vintage bed jacket out of some of it. So I've got these really fabulous 1950s original vintage patterns from a charity shop when my friend and I went to Buxton, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, I wonder if I could make that. And then I just cast on this little thing of jumper. It comes in one size for, I think it was a 32 or 34 inch bust, and I was like, oh okay. So I went up a couple of needle sizes, I kind of upped the yarn weight. It was supposed to be in I think about a DK weight, but who knows, because obviously they don't make that yarn anymore. So yeah, so I did it I think on size 6mm needles in Aran weight yarn, and it came out to like kind of fit, so I could get into it, but I think it was just so high femme, and it felt so weird to me to wear, and I just didn't really feel like myself in it. So my friend has that now and they look really great in it, so I'm really happy that it found a new home. So yeah, so that was kind of the second thing that actually came out of that project, and then this is kind of been the other thing that I've made from this. So I've done kind of the contrast to the colour work motif, and then obviously the body and the sleeves of this jumper. I really like it. I think it's just one of those things where it's like comes straight off the needles and you're like, yeah, that's my new favourite. Yeah, I'm just really proud of this. There's a bit more of a story behind it, so I'll let my my next video explain that a little bit more, so be on the lookout for that one. I realised that I've called it Apocalypso, but actually the whole way through I say Calypso Apocalypse. So yeah, so forgive me for that, but I felt like Apocalypso was a better name. So this is my Calypso sweater in the Aldi Aran yarn. Again, it's kind of a similar thing with the other ones. Because I've got this colourwork yoke though, you're not getting that same kind of sensation of the breeze blowing through you. Obviously I have to go out on my dog walks every day, and it has recently been down like below freezing, and we've had a load of snow, so it's been a bit chilly. So this has not been one that I reach for, but I think when the weather warms up again, it'll be similar again in terms of like, this will be a nice kind of spring day, and I'm not going to be absolutely like freezing outside if I wear this. Yeah, it is nice to have the kind of extra layer of the colour work to keep you warm. But yeah, it's very comfortable to wear. Like I'm very, like it doesn't, there's no like scratchy, itchy feeling in this, and I think that's probably because the wool content's quite low, and some people find wool quite itchy, although some people find acrylic quite itchy, and some people find alpaca quite itchy. So, and some people like me who are allergic to mohair find mohair incredibly itchy. Yeah, so I'm really happy with this. I would definitely do it again. This was definitely a complete like leftovers, spur of the moment project, and I'm just really happy to have had this in my stash and been able to actually use it. I do have quite a big chunk of this yarn remaining, so I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. I don't know if maybe having kind of made up 3 things and actually like this is kind of the peak, so I don't know if I would want to make something else out of the leftovers, and I don't know what I could realistically make with that. I've really gone for it in terms of accessories, so I don't feel like I need like another hat or a scarf or something. It has occurred to me that I could make something and donate it, so maybe that's a thing that I might think about doing. The other thing that I've made out of some Aldi DK acrylic yarn before is my Christmas stockings, which unfortunately I have just packed back into the box for next year, so I love you guys, but I'm not pulling them back out. You'll have to make do with the photo instead. So I made these and I feel like they were really, really successful. It was the first time doing like really intricate colour work for those. It was a bit of a challenge, I won't lie to you, and I did 3 colour work for the first time, which was a bit of a brain boggler. My tension's not brilliant, it's not perfect, and then like some of the spacing, I was trying to like figure out how to do like the line spacing of like how many rounds do I need to knit so that I can start this motif and it's kind of in the right position. The second one that I made was a lot more successful than the first. I think for Homeware projects it's come out really, really well. The colours are really vivid, they go nicely together, the colours are nicely balanced. So like the red and the green complement each other, the cream looks really good in there, so I'm very happy with those overall. So yeah, so I definitely, if you're going to make like homeware type things, I think it would be great for like a blanket as well, because it's quite hard wearing and the colours are really vibrant. I had them up in my window all over Christmas and it didn't fade, so that was really lovely. Yeah, and it was very easy to knit with. I think I had one ball that had like one join in it, so I definitely consider doing that again. I have said that I will consider making Doris, my little doggy, a stocking. The only problem is that we do like to let her pull her own things out of her stocking, and she loves yarn. She loves to bite the yarn, she loves to run off with the yarn. There's been several projects, I think actually the cable jumper was one of them, where she grabbed the yarn ball, which she knows she's not allowed to have, and like pelted through the sitting room with it. And the whole thing just went like right out of my hands, and ended up like dragged all around the house, because it's not just zoomies one way, it's zoomies back and then back and then back and then back. So yeah, so it survived Doris's teeth, so that's yeah, but I don't know if I would want to sink the hours into a Christmas stocking and then for her to shred it. I think I would cry. So yeah, maybe it'll be a decorative one only, and she can carry on with having her little paper sack that she can shred into herself. And then pull the toys out and then shred those, because she loves to do that and I love to watch her do that. To conclude, I would say that if you are intrigued by the Aldi yarn, I would go for it. I know it's not made in the most ethical way possible, and there's not a lot of transparency around where it's coming from and why the price is so low, but in terms of like the quality of the yarn, I would say that I have spent more money on yarn that was worse quality. So for me, I'm very happy to use it. I would definitely, my favourite I think is definitely the Aran with the bit of wool in it. I really like how that feels against my skin. You get the slight like warmth factor compared to my other acrylic only jumpers and cardigans where the wind just goes right through you, so it's nice to have a little bit more of that warmth. I do think this yarn is very good value, and if it wasn't for the no buy, I might be down there with everyone else elbowing people out of the way to get to the yarn in Aldi on Thursday. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to know if you've ever used Aldi yarn, and if so, what did you make from it? Thank you to everyone who commented on my last video, I really appreciate that. If you want to like and if you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely evening. Cheery pie!